Okay, so we've had a look at a low-level answer to this question. Now we're having a look at a really high-level answer and seeing what the difference is. So if you recall, at the higher levels, we're looking for students who are perceptive. So making perceptive inferences from both texts, so making perceptive judgments about what the text might mean. You have dealt with some of this in the worksheets that you've done. They're making judicious references and use of textual detail relevant to the focus of the question. So relevant, plenty of textual detail, and showing perceptive differences between the texts. So we'll see what the student can do. So they've started with this clear statement of differences. Glastonbury, not only a music festival, is all about live music and bringing together all different styles together, whereas Greenwich Fair is something much more theatrical. So we've got a statement of difference and a bit of an inference there, really. It never actually says Greenwich Fair is a theatrical event. This is what the student has judged from having read the extract from Greenwich Fair. You may have got that as well. You could have even used the word maybe chaotic there, with shops, bands and parades and pantomimes and various other dramatic presentations. Okay, so textual reference backing up that theatrical inference there, really. The parades and pantomimes. Okay. So again, here what we're doing here is a perceptive inference. Apart from the fact that it seems to look like a near total devastation, so talking about Glastonbury here, people seem relatively calm, happy, and friendly. So again, this is very similar to the inference made by the first student, but because they've backed it up with a better quote, near total devastation bit, and they've actually bothered to back it up. And they're also talking about the very safe, family-friendly atmosphere. It works a lot better. They've put a bit more detail in there about it being a safe, family-friendly atmosphere. People seem relatively calm, happy and friendly, even though it looks very chaotic and there's a scene of near total devastation because of all the mud. They're then going on to compare it quite nicely. And this is where the student does really well. However, this does not seem to be the case at Greenwich. Charles Dickens describes it with firing of pistols, ringing of bells, and the bellowing of speaking trumpets, among other things. This gives a crazy, almost out-of-hand picture of something people in this day and age may expect to be more civilised. So again, this is a really perceptive inference. We get this idea that Victorian culture was very civilised. However, it's clearly not. Greenwich Fair is clearly a very uncivilised place, more dangerous, less civilised than a festival that we, these days, associate with being a bit anarchic, a bit chaotic, Glastonbury. So again, a really strong perceptive inference there. And they're going beyond what's written, making it seem like a huge brawl, rowdiness of the games played and the attitudes towards women especially make the fair seem like a huge brawl. And linking back to a difference perceptively, everyone seems to take part in everything, which also contrasts Glastonbury, where you choose which concert to go to. So again, drawing on this chaotic theme and the fact that the fair is a lot more chaotic than Glastonbury. Overall, I think the main difference is that Glastonbury is much calmer than their chaotic, discombobulating atmosphere of Greenwich. So another perceptive difference there, really. This isn't just the basic stuff like, well, one's a music festival, one isn't really a music festival. This is getting to the heart of it, really thinking about the sources, really thinking about the atmosphere, what you can see, what you can do. And they've come to the conclusion, the overall conclusion, the main difference is that it's much calmer at Glastonbury than the chaotic atmosphere of Greenwich. And the inference have ended it with, which might well have bumped them up a few marks, is it's a real insight as to how society has grown and what it feels now acceptable when people let their hair down. And the examiner has put this here quite nicely. It's a confident response which pulls together the key differences between texts in a very perceptive way. The candidate makes a very judicious use of text to support these ideas, and a number of perceptive inferences highlight the quality of the interpretation. So again, lots of use of text and lots of good use of text here to back up what they're saying. Plenty of perceptive differences, not just the superficial differences. One's a music festival, one isn't. One's muddy, one isn't. They're getting to the heart of it. They're getting to the chaos here as well, differences between the two. perceptive inference as well. They've gone above and beyond here, talking about, the fact that you'd expect Victorian era to be more civilized, whereas clearly this isn't. And the fact that it might be actually a little bit surprising to us as modern viewers that Glastonbury is significantly more civilized and controlled. So there you go. That is a higher level response.